The Principality of Dol Amroth has arrived. Hey, how's it going? My name is jackiefishhh and welcome back to some more Rise of Mordor. Today we're going to be using the Rise of Mordor sub-mod, which goes ahead and overhauls a ton of combat stats as well as adds in new factions. And obviously Dol Amroth is one of them. So it goes ahead and adds in Dol Amroth, it adds in the elves, which we're using as well right here. It also goes ahead and adds in a bunch of units for the other Rise of Mordor factions. So until they go ahead and finish off their own kind of versions of them in Rise of Mordor, this is a great mod to go ahead and mess around with, as it just allows so many more combinations of factions and stuff and units for them factions for epic battles. So in today's online battle, we are having a 1 vs 1 on my Discord with, you know, just a casual 6,000 soldiers, just over 6,000 soldiers, as Dol Amroth will try and break the ranks of the elves. So as this is kind of like a Dol Amroth overview video for the sub-mod, we'll go ahead and take a look at their units and what they have available to them. So on the front line, Genku is bringing some of these halberdiers, again using that awesome looking helmet with the swan wings as kind of the centerpiece for it. I also really dig these other helmets. They look very Númenórean, and as if you guys don't know, Dol Amroth was a Númenórean colony, I believe. It's kind of very like, you know, high and mighty type of city, which is now, you know, pledged its allegiance to the Gondorians, and they're very cool. A lot of them still speak Elvish in the city of Dol Amroth, and it's awesome. I think as well they were one of the largest contingents of reinforcements and bannermen to Minas Tirith when the banners were called for the defense. And I mean, just look at that, it looks bloody beautiful right there. The chest piece looking awesome, and it's just really cool, like, because the modder who goes ahead and creates this sub mod, he takes parts of all these different units and adds them in to go ahead and create these new factions. So he'll take like the helmet from Rise of Mordor, he'll maybe take the weapon from Medieval 1212 and stuff, and it's just really cool to kind of take all of this. I mean, look at this horse armor piece right here. That is just insane, with the swan on the top of the helmet. It's just really good. So yeah, we have, sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent then. So then we have some archers of Dol Amroth. I really like kind of their casual just overcloak right there, nothing too crazy, but very nice. Then the heavy infantry, again looking very Númenórean. I like that a lot with the helmets and the chest piece. Obviously the swan on the shield. We just saw their cavalry. They also have some more spearmen. I believe these guys are naval spearmen. Yeah, the coastal garrison right here. So again, pretty crappy units who I wish good luck against the elves, because the elves are ridiculously OP, much like they should be, right? Few in number, but very elite. And obviously Dol Amroth being a coastal city, getting a lot of its wealth from the sea trade, having coastal garrisons would be great. I also really love these swords as well. The actual, look at that, it's got like a swan on the sword as well. That's bloody beautiful right there. Then we have some more cavalry of the Dol Amroth. These guys are just the wild riders, so I believe this is like skirmisher cavalry. So they're a lot more light horsemen. I actually wouldn't mind them getting rid of these shoulder plates and kind of going for maybe a smaller variant for this lighter cavalry. And just some basic helmets and stuff, nothing too crazy. We then have some more really heavy, I don't know, again, these are kind of more of the medium ones as well. These are the squire cavalry. So not quite fully decked out Knights of the Silver Swan quite yet, but you know, they're on their way up there. And then we just have the other contingents. We do have some of the Sea Guard. These aren't the Sea Guard from, yeah, these shoulder plates would be really cool on the lightly armored cavalry. Yeah, not the Sea Guard from Warhammer, but still very nice. These guys are kind of, guess, a hybrid between sword infantry and also archers with their shields on their back, which I'm sure they'll whip out more of the halberdiers. And then we finally have the Black Swan Vanguard. Oh baby, these guys are just unreal. I love the color changes where it adds in a lot of flavor to them. That's definitely my favorite unit. I mean, probably my favorite unit next to the heavy Knights of the Silver Swan. And I love the difference in colors of the overcoats of the horses. It adds a lot to the unit and just kind of spices it up a bit with the teal and also the dark blue and navy. They look very cool, and I mean, just look at that gleaming off the armor if we zoom in right there. you can just see the sheer beauty of the units, and it's really awesome. You know, a lot of these units are just created in the submods, so make sure to go show them some love in it. And obviously we've got the elven ranks as well, but you know, I'll do another video on the elves probably at some point. You guys can see them very nicely in this battle, and it'll be a pretty intense engagement. So let's go ahead and tell these guys to go and start the fight. And let's get this battle bad boy started. So we are playing as a spectator in this battle. This is mainly because we'll watch the trebuchets as well, because I'm sure the trebuchets will be the first things to start shooting. Because we are spectating the battle, because I just found when I'm trying to do these battles live, because the replays don't work, it just always sucked, because I'd have to spend half the battle doing micro and stuff instead of just watching the battle unfold in its pure beauty. So the trebuchets are going to be coming in. Oh, it doesn't like that. They are going to be trying to take out the enemy trebuchets first. Getting a direct hit on the general. Oh, wow. That was pretty deadly. Hitting some of the elven generals. So, yeah, it does seem like the Dol Amroth trebuchets are come flying in, trying to smash away at the trebuchets. Getting a direct hit there, but it luckily bounced off. Killing a lot of the crew, though. Killing the crew is not a bad idea either. Fire arrows going out as well. I imagine we'll be seeing the elven archers shooting out, because the elven arrows are very deadly. And I think the forces of Dol Amroth are going to be trying to set ablaze to the fortifications, opening up more breach points in this siege battle. Oh, the artillery come flying in right there. Again, sending a lot of these elves to the depths of destruction. So one of the fire coming in. Oh, burning quite a few of them as well. Oh, that's brutal. Artillery is always such a brutal game. It really, really is. So the fire arrows are going to be flying in, trying to burn away as much of these defenses as possible, and basically just soften it up for when everyone else comes up. And I'm not sure if we'll be able to see. Yeah, so here we go. We're going to be seeing this starting to be getting set ablaze. It looks like it's getting set ablaze a little bit, which will then, you know, open up more breach points for them to continue on. The artillery just flying in there, really wincing them up. More artillery going back and forth with these trebuchets. So even though the elves were under attack, they did manage to form up these trebuchets for the defense. I like to think that maybe Dol Amroth, you know, sieged them out for the night. Oh, these Knights of a Black Swan as well. These guys need to be protected. If anything, they should be running in circles, right, just in the hopes that they can survive in this battle. We also have the halberdiers just waiting for their time. So this initial battle, I think, will be very much a heavy skirmish phase of the engagement, which is surprising, because normally you don't want to skirmish away against the elves, because it's just never going to go in your favor. But it does look like here Dol Amroth is going to be choosing to do that. Just trying, I guess trying to open up more breaches is the smartest move. It does mean, though, that they're going to be getting hit by elven archer fire, and obviously, as you guys know, the elven archers are brutal. You know, once they do kind of fully levy up their arrows and stuff and volley out, they're going to take away a lot of these Dol Amroth lightly armored archers, because the archers for Dol Amroth, if we take a look at them, you know, they're not exactly heavily armored, right? So the elven archers, you know, obviously with their quality as well, will be finding their mark quite a lot of the time. But needs must, right, and they need to burn down and make these breaches. There's a lot of these walls are set ablaze, though, and if they can set these towers ablaze as well, the fire will spread throughout the city. So focusing down these tower points is actually a really smart move, because it will start a fire around the entire city, and I think 1 or 2 volleys might be enough to take it down. 96, so 1 more volley will take out this tower. And there you go, the city is ablaze. This is going to destroy all of these barricades, meaning that the elves will actually have to spread out their entire force, which might not be too healthy for them. Also, I swear these capes have turned from like red to purple. I'm not sure if it's just, am I going colorblind or something, but I swear these capes were red before the beginning of the battle. Maybe they've just changed in the lighting. Yeah, the encampment is being demolished right now, and you will probably see this fire spreading to this corner as well, again opening up a ton of breach points as the artillery continues to go up. I'm also a little bit unsure whilst we're getting a lot of jittery with the lag. Like, we're getting a little bit of stoppage right there, here and there. We'll go on slow-mo in a bit as well, which hopefully sort it out, but I don't know why, because it's not like, I mean, these units don't have any low LODs yet, which basically optimize them at distance, so they're not as laggy. But, you know, still, like, it shouldn't be a big of a problem. I mean, the Battle of the Five Armies we did yesterday, which if you haven't seen, go and check it out. Probably the best battle I've done on my channel ever, so it's 100% worth to go check out. And we did that, and it was laggy, but we had like 19,000 soldiers, and it was probably better than it is now. So it's really weird that it's being it's like struggling this much. So the entire walls are just, you know, set on fire. The towers are also being destroyed as well, as the Dol Amroth archers are coming in and just annihilating the elven forces. The archers are going to be sending back some arrow fire though, trying to take out as many of these Dol Amroth knights as they just push up. Yeah, look, they're going to be trying to smash through this wall. But look, that is epic right there, man. Look at that. As the elves just form up. That is sick as hell, man. Just waiting for these walls to go down. You can actually see some of the walls are breaking apart now. And it's only going to be a matter of time until they do. Yeah, you can see it starting to break down. And the Dol Amroth are just going to be going straight through it, through the fire and the flames as they just come marching forward. Look at that. Shields fucking levied up, ready to push on the elves. And the elves have not formed up here. They're going to be getting taken off guard as the walls come flying down. A few of the elven formations have now formed up, but that's going to just allow Dol Amroth to really take the advantage as they again just wait here. The elves are finally realizing and pushing more men into the breach. We also have some of the weaker coastal garrison as well, which should be an easier target for the elves to deal with, pushing on this flank. I'm also, you know, obviously imagining more and more soldiers are going to be pushing up as well. Some of the halberdiers as well, who are going to be very effective at taking out these stationary positions. But I mean, just look at this, the entire wall. This was once a garrison, no longer. As Dol Amroth continued to push up, the elves with their huge blades though, looking so sick, just decapitating the elves. I don't know why I keep on doing that. Whenever I see a decapitation, I swing with my hands like a complete weirdo, like you guys can see, like I'm reenacting. I'm there. As the Knights of the Silver Swan are forming up. I mean, this is perfect, right? As the artillery shots come in, the Knights of the Silver Swan just smashing into the fortress now, opening up the battlefield wide, flying into the elven archers. This is where Dol Amroth will just go ahead and slaughter the elves if they're not careful. The elven cavalry flying back into the engagement though, sending them back. More horses turning up to draw them, and let's go ahead and do some goddamn slow-mo. Slow-mo, boys. Let's go ahead and get some slow-mo on the go, because I want to watch these two sides just smash together. And it's just so epic. I can't wait for them to add in more and more factions into Rise of Mordor, because already, you know, we're getting these sub-mods which add in new units, and it's just so much fun to go ahead and mess around with, and all these different combinations, you know, instead of just having Gondor versus Isengard for the millionth time, we're getting these really exciting matchups. Granted, obviously Dol Amroth is, you know, part of Gondor, you know, it's a principality, but still, you know, it's still really exciting, because Dol Amroth is still, you know, very culturally different to Gondor, you know. They might, you know, take different, you know, similar stuff to them, but they're still very exciting, and it does add it up, especially with the elves going up against them. I really like the retexture that the elves have done. I'm definitely going to have to do a separate video on the elves. I don't know who I'll get to fight against them, though. I'll have to obviously see who I should get. I mean, let me know in the comments, who do you guys think I should put up? I'll do like a separate elven video, and who do you guys think should fight them in that elven video? I'd be very interested to find out. So if we take an overlook of the video, we can see that the cavalry is poured in, hitting the elven cavalry. We do have some elven cavalry pushing out around here, probably going to try and hit some of these side units. The majority of the forces are just descending upon them. I imagine over on this side that the elves are doing pretty well, but not even with them fire arrows. They completely set ablaze to all the fortifications here, and that just allowed Dol Amroth to use their cavalry and just do what we're seeing now. Granted, this is lightly armored cavalry, but even they can do very well against the swordsmen who just aren't equipped to deal with these mounted warriors. And obviously this is like the strength of Dol Amroth, right? In their cavalry is where they succeed. The Knights of the Silver Swan are just unmatched across Middle Earth. with their horsemanship. Very, very strong. And I would love to see naval units as well. Like, imagine just the Dol Amroth Navy beach landing up against, I don't know, like a stationary orc army on the beaches somewhere. Like, that'd be awesome. Or just a Harad Navy moving in, having an epic naval battle against the Dol Amroth Navy. Like, that would be spectacular. So I really hope we do get some ships in at some point. I know there is actually a mod which goes ahead and adds in naval units. I think it was the Lord of the Rings unit pack mod, which adds in some naval units. But what I would love to see is, like, because he's designed some pretty epic Dol Amroth ships, I'd love to see them ships with the units in Rise of Mordor, and these other mods as well, because I think that'd be very, very cool, actually having this spectacular looking units. And maybe even having an elven navy as well would be very cool, as the units do clash. I think a lot of people, though, are really excited for Rohan in this mod, and I believe that's one of the factions they're working on next, honestly. Out of all the factions, I think it's like kind of a bit of Mordor and a lot of Rohan, as well as finishing up units for all the other factions as well. And obviously getting them trolls and war trolls, the Ologhai, ready for battle. What is that guy? Is that guy just looking at me right there? There you go. He's gone ahead and flipped over. More arrow fire going in. And this cavalry fight, I think, will very much determine the battle, honestly, because the elves are bringing back a lot of their forces now. They can go ahead and situate their men elsewhere. Have the Knights of the Black Swan gone in yet? Oh, the Knights of the Black Swan have. Oh, we're going to have to watch them fighting against the elves. We're going to stick here for a very decent amount of time now, because I want to see these guys just go ham. I'll try and steady the camera, and we'll go full-on movie mode, and we'll just watch these guys just smash away at the elves. Oh, the arrow fire coming in, though, just decimating the horses here. I guess once they're stationary, it's very hard for the horses to have that impact damage, but they kind of almost don't need it. The Knights of the Black Swan there just going ham right now. I love these great swords as well. Holding it by the blade as well, using a bit of half sword style. Rest of these war axes smashing down on the elven shields, unfortunately not piercing a way. Oh, that arch, that horseman as well, dropping the Dol Amroth flag as the arrow fire comes flying in, and he just descends down. The horse going to be landing on him. There is no hope for him. He has like 6 arrows in his leg as well. He has definitely been taken out. I mean, the elves are master archers, as the rest of their formation is just coming round. We do also have some of the halberdiers. The halberdiers, I imagine, are more of a defensive force. Probably not going to break and do a lot of damage, but they'll kind of just stay alive and keep enemies of the elven forces at bay. The Elven Cavalry as well, actually flying in here against the Sea Guard. I really like the look of the Sea Guard. They're like, because they're a hybrid unit, they don't have to be in full plate armor or anything. You know, they're quite lightly armored. I really love the shoulder pads of their units. Like, it's a nice little addition right there. And, you know, it's just like kind of like leather instead of plate. We're very used to seeing plate armor, you know, with Gondor and stuff. So it's kind of cool to see like a leather variant of them shoulder pads. The elves are putting up a very, very good fight in this cavalry engagement, actually killing a lot of the shock cavalry of the Knights of the Silver Swan. I mean, obviously they are shock cavalry, so they're supposed to do that initial kind of smashing into the enemy formation, kind of almost hammer and anvil. They can fight, you know, in a prolonged combat, but the elven archers are being very, very effective right here. Just picking away. You can see the elven arrow fire as well, actually finding their targets, you know, above the main battle line, hitting the warriors as they continue to push in, which is very deadly. If anything, the Dol Amroth cavalry needs to pull out and just charge back in. We even have some trebuchet shots still coming in as the halberdiers just continue to hold this battle line against the elves. I mean, this is kind of just like such a boring matchup here, because we have halberdiers against spearmen, not the most aggressive units whatsoever. I think both sides will just be very, very slow in their engagement as the fight goes up. And I mean, we can go back up to normal speed now. If I just say normal speed, we can go back to normal speed now and just let the battle continue to fly off. Because I always get really annoyed, but you don't have any of these battle sounds in the normal when we go on slow-mo. This just always sucks so much. Because half the battle is having all these epic sounding battle, you know, noises of people screaming and swords clashing and stuff and arrows letting loose. And it always is just so disappointing that you don't actually have any battle sounds when you go on slow-mo. The The artillery still flying in from Dol Amroth. Oh, the enemy general has been killed. Is that the Elven general? Yeah, the Elven general has been slain. But so has the Dol Amroth. They've kind of switched each other's lives. I like to think that they killed each other with a single slice of each other's swords, decapitating one, the other one slicing the other dude's stomach open. I think that's going to help Dol Amroth much more than it is going to hurt the forces of the elves. The elves have been training, you know, an eternity for these battles. Even though the ancestries of the Numenorians, you know, are blessed with long life, the elves just have the advantage of being goddamn immortal. So, you know, they're going to be much more steadfast. They're going to be able to keep these ranks and keep up the fight. I mean, Van's power is shifting away from Dol Amroth as well now, as the elves really start to put the pressures. We have an epic side charge come flying in against the Darren Enil Footman? God, that's why I'm just calling them Dol Amroth, because pronunciation is not my strong point. I'll be the first one to admit that. And that's why I'm really not looking forward to trying to pronounce when 3K comes out, the new China Total War, Three Kingdoms Total War, because trying to pronounce half the names in that are just going to be brutal. But I already know Cao Cao, you know, instead of Cow Cow, because Cow Cow means poo. So, you know, probably shouldn't be saying that. Oh, the elves have actually been completely surrounded here by the Sea Guard and also by the Knights of the Black Swan. Arrow fire, man. And the Elven infantry come flying in into the side to go ahead and relieve the pressure. I mean, they are still surrounded, but the Elven arrow fire is just so precise. They know exactly how to shoot this, and that's why they truly are the masters of the bow. We're just seeing a huge rout here by Dol Amroth. We are. A lot of their units falling back on this left-hand side, retreating back. Yeah, the elves have clinched this one for sure. I mean, we always know that the elves are such a strong faction, much like they should be. But they have a lot less men in their units, you know. If we look at the infantry for a second, the Dol Amroth infantry have 120, whereas the elves only have 90 soldiers. So, you know, they kind of have that less. And I think the Uruk-hai have like 160 or maybe even 200 in some of their units. So it's kind of balanced in that, you know, but the elves are very few in number, along with the dwarves as well. The elves and dwarves are few in number, but very good. The men are kind of the middle match right there, and then obviously you have the evil factions like the Orcs and the Uruk-hai, who are large in number, and their elite units are still really good. Don't get me wrong, they have them kind of special shock units like the Berserkers and stuff, but the majority of their kind of medium tier infantry are going to be just huge in number, trying to overwhelm, outflank and surround the enemy to kind of use that to their advantage, as the elves just rally out of the fortress looking to go ahead and deal the killing blow to Dol Amroth. The elves OP, man. But my god, that was a fun battle. And there we go, the entirety of the Dol Amroth army has routed now. I mean, they tried to set an ambush there and surround the elven forces, but the elves stood firm. So if we take a look at the kills for Dol Amroth first, we can go ahead and see that they did go ahead and deploy close to 4,000 soldiers, and only 900 of them did remain. Their general getting 61 kills, their infantry getting 74, these Black Swan Vanguard, very nice. And then probably a lot of their archers doing very decently, and their artillery and cavalry doing the best, much like it should do. And do bear in mind, obviously, as well, they might not look like these guys got a lot of crazy kills, but these Black Swan Vanguard basically wiped out an entire unit of infantry for the elves, because the elves are, as we were just speaking about, are very small in number. The elven forces, we've got some of their Noldrin warriors with 100 kills, 146 there, considering how few men they lost. That is very, very impressive. Their trebuchets not doing as effective as the Dol Amroth trebuchets, that is for sure, with the cavalry doing feeling pretty decent as well. I mean, what you kind of have to expect that the elves and their soldiers are just very elite and very good. And I think this was a bad matchup for Dol Amroth, considering we played with a shit ton of money, meaning that the elves could spam out very expensive units and also just gold chevron them up, which would just outmatch the forces of Dol Amroth. But Dol Amroth put up a very, very good show, and we're definitely going to do more battles now that we have Gondor, we have Isengard, we have who else do we have? We have the dwarfs, we have the elves, we have Dol Amroth, obviously. We have like a decent selection of factions where we can actually have some really interesting battles of mixing up factions, having good versus evil, having obviously we have the Harad and Eastlings as well. I can't believe I forgot about them in Harad as well. So there's a lot of really cool factions in the mod now. They're not all fleshed out, and a lot of them aren't Rise of Mordor official, but that doesn't really matter. It just allows me to have some really exciting battles. So let me know what you guys want to see down below in the description, or in the comments I should say. Let me know what you guys thought of Dol Amroth, and I will see you guys in the next one.